Good afternoon. Welcome to the Lockdown Economy interview series. My name is Irina, and today I'm speaking to Jeroen Lens. Jeroen is the founder of a local dealer food incorporated that is a funky Mexican restaurant in the center of Amsterdam. Is that so, Jeroen?
That's totally true. That's what it is.
That is what it is.
Mexican snack in Amsterdam East.
Sounds nice. Sounds great. So tell me more about your business. Tell me more about your restaurant.
Well, what can I say? Like I started to create this idea about 4 years ago. I went to Mexico for quite a while to sort of like absorb all the information and inspiration that I could get from the food industry, food and drink industry. And when I came back, I started to develop my idea to like a very concrete and solid business plan and an identity. Yeah, that took me quite a while. I took it pretty serious, and yeah, in the end, like the end of last year, I signed a contract, took over this place that we are now here, and started our official business. Before that, we did a sort of pop-up events. We had a location on the Westergas where we could like on Sundays take over the place and with like local dealer props, make it our own sort of environment. And that was our way to try out if people would like it and understand what we are trying to do. And that was like immediately a very big hit, and from there I knew, okay, I need to find a fixed location and start my business.
Right. So this is how it began. So it is relatively new in its stable form. Is it right?
Well, the plan was to open the 1st of April, which was of course in the middle of the first lockdown. At the time that I signed my contract and took over this place, there was no word of Corona yet, and we didn't know what would happen in the future that was ahead of us. And the idea was to renovate this place and open the 1st of April. Yeah, and that in the end was 1st of June after the first lockdown. So we have been running a normal business for 4 months, and now already for more than 2 months we are like, yeah, in a sort of like in between state of mind, not knowing what's gonna happen. And yeah,
interesting. So basically you've already, as a relatively young business, you've already experienced 2 lockdowns.
We did.
You did. So tell me more a little bit about the strategy or your thinking when you faced the decision of being locked down.
Well, like my state of being is that I try to stay positive in every sense and see or look at the opportunities instead of like like a wall of resistance that we can't change. The first lockdown had a very positive outcome in the end for us, because what we did when we knew that there was a lockdown on its way, we decided, or I decided at that time, okay, we're not going to hire any external party to help with the reconstruction, but we're going to do everything ourselves. That in the end resulted that we kept a lot of money that I was that I wanted to invest for the reconstruction and stuff. We kept it, and with that we could maintain ourselves for quite a while in the startup phase. So for us, yeah, the first lockdown was actually quite a nice period because there was nothing going on in the streets. That was also not in my mind, not a sort of like, okay, what if we would have been open? No, we took the time as it was, and well, the end result is smashing. It became a really beautiful place. Kai and I, we did everything ourselves, and yeah, that was fun. And in the end, I had way more money on my bank account that I initially calculated, because yeah, we didn't hire anyone to help us with painting or like building or whatsoever, because we did everything ourselves. That was for the first lockdown, so that was actually a very positive outcome for a very shitty situation for a lot of people. And well, like the second lockdown that we are still in, yeah, what was the strategy? Like in the first place, it was of course a bit like, okay, what are we going to do? Because it came pretty all of a sudden, huh? Like we had a press conference on Monday, and on Wednesday, everything had to be closed. So there was not really a strategy up front, but we downsized our business in terms of employees. We were at that time with 12 people. So we started with 4. In 4 months, we were with 12. We downsized it back to 5. And we started to develop new products. So we changed the menu to a takeaway and delivery business. In the first place, and we looked at our menu and said, okay, which things are able to be delivered and have a certain amount of time that it's on its way, and blah blah blah. So okay, we took out the ceviches, all the raw fish products we took out, and for that we developed burritos that we make, yeah, from head to tail. We make everything ourselves, so the tortillas are made in-house, and all the toppings are made with fresh products, so no convenience, but really like, yeah, well, a very healthy, beautiful product in the end it became. And that is actually something that we added to our menu, and is sort of like instant success. People understand it. People really give super good reviews about the burritos that we make. And that was sort of like the beginning. So we changed ourselves to takeaway and delivery. We opened ourselves to all the platforms that are available. So Deliveroo, Uber Eats, Thuisbezorgd.
Right.
We developed a new website. So we have now our own web shop online as well, where you can order and then you can come and pick it up. That has actually also quite positive impact on our business, because although I would not have even expected that much, but people really order through our own online channel as well. Yeah, we are doing quite a lot of things at the moment. We designed we call it home dealer, and so we visit, me and the chef Eli, we visit people at home, maximum 2, and then we come with a tasting menu and a mezcal fly tasting, and then we use their kitchen. We take all our equipment and the food, of course, and then well, in the end, you have a smashing experience. It's about 4 hours. And we experienced already that everybody at some point is really like sort of like happy and fulfilled with food and drinks. Yeah. And then after 4 hours, we wrap everything together, we clean the kitchen, and then we leave as if nothing happened.
Wow, that's really fantastic. Very personal experience, very individual.
It is. Like, we have seen that people start dancing in their own living room because we have some playlists that we bring along. And yeah, it's just a fun moment. That's also fun for us because it comes closest to what we do here in the restaurant. And that is giving people an experience, because it's not only about the food, the quality of the food that we make, but if you come in here, we try to give you let's say a full-on experience.
Oh, sounds really good. And sounds like you've come up with a lot of byproducts or interesting solutions to what the situation was and could be. Yeah. Do you know of any customer needs that you still would like to address? Is there any, like, do you sense that there are any gaps in customers' needs that you still would want to tap into, or do you think that you're having your customers sort of all together?
No. Of course, we are not sitting still. We are sort of, it's an ongoing process of new ideas that we try to develop and to test and see if it brings us the result that we need. Yesterday, I went to the municipality office and I subscribed myself for a few markets. So what we are going to do now is take a stand on the market in the pipe, on the Albert pipe, which will be like a new way to present ourselves in a new district of Amsterdam. And from the market, we're gonna sell only burritos. So no tacos, but only the burritos. And the burritos get an own identity. And so we start to create a second brand next to local dealer that we're gonna push into the market through like very simple, like it's been done in Mexico as well, or every second world country, just on the street. So we take our food to the streets and we start selling. That was something that I hope to have ready already, like before where we are now. But we created do-it-yourself kits. So you can buy a kit from us with 4 tacos, all the components that we normally put together when we serve it. But then we have a nice instruction menu where it says to you, okay, now you do this and now you do that. And then you can do it yourself at home, which is super nice. But we got a bit of a delay because the video that we tried to make for the instructions in the end sucked and we had to do it all over. Yeah. Sorry. And well, there are a few other things that we are actually developing that is maybe too early to already tell you, but I would say everybody that is looking, stay tuned, because there are a few very interesting and major projects that we are trying to push at the moment.
Right, and people should be looking for a local food dealer sort of logo brand in some shape.
Well, like I just said, the burritos are going to have their own identity that is, let's say, within the local dealer family. And next to the burrito, well, let me give a bit of an insight of what we are doing. There will be a second or a third brand with a product that we develop and that we're going to push into the market as a sort of a consumer product.
All right. Okay. Very interesting.
In the end, sell it through like different retail channels with an identity that is, related to local dealer, but it has its own story to tell.
Right. So it's in the family of projects, but it has its own story. Oh, that's very interesting. Wow, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So in the coming months, I guess you will be busy with developing these solutions and focusing on that. How long is the span of the current lockdown in the Netherlands?
Good question. Well, the last restrictions that they gave us, they will stay till the 19th of January.
Right.
Yesterday, I had a conversation with a friend of mine that is also like working related to hospitality, like in the marketing and PR. And he said, because it's a big company that he works for, and he said, actually, we count on it that from the 19th on, with restrictions and regulations, but we are already working on reopening events for the 19th of January. So with that said, I can only hope for that. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I'm a kind of person, an entrepreneur that focus on things that I know I can control myself. And this is, of course, something that is well, controlled by others. So we play along, we dance along with what they want us to do. And for the rest, the things that we are now developing, that is for me way more important than the decision that is going to be made by someone else, because I just want to make sure that with the things that we do, we become sustainable with our own business. And even if it takes longer than the 19th, that we are able to maintain and sustain ourselves.
Right. Well, very great strategy. I can only applaud you.
Yeah.
One of my last questions would be, if you were to name 3 things that you need now that would help you move forward with your business in the current situation, what would they be?
Well, I would say a time machine, a musician that can split me in 4 persons so I can do more things at the same time. Maybe sort of like, I don't know, like so I can go in time or like in the future and leave this behind me. The only thing at the moment that is sort of like not even stressing me out, but it's a bit of an unfair situation that I wish to solve with positive outcome, is that because I am starting like a startup, I'm one of the businesses that get no help of the government. Although there are a lot of fundings right now by the government to help businesses to maintain themselves through this situation, through this lockdown. But all the rules with that are based on, okay, you need to show facts and figures numbers of 2019, like the last quarter of 2019. And I didn't have a business. Like I can easily show that at the moment we only do 20% of our initial turnover that we did the first 4 months. But that's not enough for them. They say for newcomers, it's a pity, it's too bad, but you don't get anything. And businesses that were already like, let's say almost into bankruptcy last year, but still like hold on in a way, they now get like free money of the state to maintain their business for a little longer. And the ones that are actually fresh and fruity and doing really well, or did really well before the lockdown, now have to like, I don't know, we have the luck that we earned quite a good amount of money to sustain ourselves in this time. But yeah, I wish to bump into someone that has a attorney background and says, okay, I know how to nail this, and I can help you to get what you deserve. Because yeah, like it's a bit of an unfair situation that I actually can't fight it myself, because I have no knowledge of law or whatsoever, all the rules and regulations that are like coming with it. So that's the only thing where I wish to have someone that helps me out, and for the rest, we are actually doing really well.
Right. Well, I hear you, and I sympathize with your situation, with your wish. Yeah. I hope it comes true.
Yeah, and that said, I'm also still super positive and happy with the fact that we do maintain ourselves. We have made enough money to sustain ourselves till this far. And even if it takes a little while longer, we are able. So in that sense, we have not so much to worry about. But it's just a bit of an unfair situation where I think, okay, guys, the money goes to the wrong side of the table most of the time. And let's face it, let's have this conversation and see if it's a fair deal, what you now came up with for the whole, let's say, all businesses. And how should we make sure that it gets divided in an equal way, and that we get what we deserve.
Right.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. And my last question would be, Jeroen, if you were to take one learning out of this year into your future restaurant journey, what would that be?
What would that be? I would say be flexible. stay eager, like don't spend all your money. Make sure that you have savings for situations like these, because although I can't look into the future, but my prediction is that this is something that will happen more often, that we will be surprised by a virus or whatsoever that will shut us down for a period of time. And yeah, don't get too stuck into your business and have an open mind for new opportunities, because I talk to a lot of colleagues of mine that are way too worried about losing money or not being able to sustain themselves. But you have if you have a beautiful product, which we have, so if you're only selling products from third parties, most likely you will be shut down, because the products that you sell can be bought cheaper, most likely through other channels from the brand that you represent.
Right.
If you have a beautiful product like we do, you can always make yourself sustainable again. Maybe it takes a bit of time to think of the right model, but if you have something that is unique by itself, I wouldn't worry for any challenge, because stay focused on your own business and recreate your business model and look at the possibilities with what you have, and don't fear too much of what you don't have or what you think that might can happen in the future.
Yep. Sounds like great words of wisdom, Jeroen. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and telling about your business and the strategies that you've deployed.
Yeah.
On this, I will end this interview and I will finish this recording. Again, many thanks for spending time with me today.
Thank you very much for the interview. It was nice.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.